What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of. No, you know what? I'm wrong. This is not Let's Take a Walk. This is. I'm so used to saying that. I apologize. This is not the Let's Take a Walk podcast. This is the He Said, She Said podcast. The first ever episode, man. I'm so excited.
I am too.
This young lady that you see before you is Miss Cooley D. And I am Mike Robinson. We have two counterparts that are indisposed at the moment. They should be coming on maybe a little later on in the segment. But I hope everybody is having an amazing weekend so far. I definitely have had an interesting yet relaxing weekend. I've stayed out of trouble, thank God. How was your weekend? How's your weekend going so far?
My weekend was pretty good so far. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. The weather sucks here, but other than that, everything was pretty much good. You know, nothing to too much complain about. I'm still breathing.
Exactly. So basically, He Said, She Said is a platform where we kind of talk about different issues, stuff that has come across, in the media that people are talking about, and we just kind of doing some laid back commentary on these certain situations, these certain issues or whatever. So like, I'm gonna start. Now, one of the things that have been most prominent and out in the front is the Diddy trial.
Oh God, yes.
Now they've started the trial. I think they've been in about a week and a half, 2 weeks so far. And we've seen a lot of explosive testimonies by like Cassie and some of the escorts and people, Cassie's mother and best friend, and people who are directly or indirectly, involved in the case. And we've heard all type of wild stuff. But what have you been paying attention to it? First off, and if you have, like, what are some of the things that stood out to you, and what are your overall thoughts of the trial?
I've been paying attention to it, but I don't know. I'm not team. What I'm saying is this: what Diddy did and is being accused of, like what he did to her in the hotel lobby, that was wrong. If he was abusing her, that was wrong. But I just feel like Cassie got in a relationship with a much older man than her. But I feel like a lot of that was done for the perks, the money. And I feel like she was down with a lot of the freak offs and stuff because she was getting paid to do it. I feel like, and this is just me personally thinking this. I mean, I could be wrong. I feel like the only reason why Cassie came out with the whole hotel thing is because she was jealous of Caresha and what Caresha was getting. Like everything that Diddy promised Cassie was given to Caresha. Caresha had a show. He was giving her allowance. He was giving her all these things while Cassie was being peed on, being beat up, all these things. And you went through all these things, and then to just see Caresha just walking around gloating like everything is fine. I mean, like all these years of that video, like you just now coming out with that.
Now let me ask you this: Do you think that Cassie knew that the video existed? Do you think that she knew it was going to come out when it did, or that it even existed?
Yeah, Cassie is no fool. She had documentations of her bruises, all that stuff. So I feel like she was using that as leverage, just like Diddy was using those videos as leverage, saying that he was going to expose her.
Wow.
Not saying that anything that he did was right, because I'm saying like if all these things is true, he's sick. Like he has to be sick. But Cassie was, she was just like when the man said that he peed in Cassie's mouth. When she wanted him to do that, like it was certain things that she wanted done. It was certain text messages that she was sending to Diddy that just was like, if this man was doing all these things to you, you act like, well, I'm down for another freak off and all these things. Like, so it's just like I'm kind of mixed up with the whole thing.
Yeah, I think that, and I'm not condoning, anything that Diddy allegedly did or whatever. But the thing of it is that of all the things that I've seen or heard so far, maybe you've seen some stuff that I didn't. None of this stuff is seems like it was forced. Nobody seemed like they were pressured into doing certain things. You either do it or you're not. Like, as a matter of fact, there were a couple times where on the text she said, I don't want to do it today. I'm on my cycle or blah, blah, blah. He was like, all right, cool.
And then, but then she turned around and did it anyway.
So it's like, I don't see how you can bootstrap all this stuff and say, oh, he did some type of criminal act when everybody seems to be in agreement. And it always cracks me up, especially like, even with the R. Kelly trial, they did that show, Surviving R. Kelly. All those people that stood by while he was allegedly doing these things and didn't say anything.
Exactly.
Because they didn't want to lose their job or they didn't want to lose their standing within the team. Now you get to turn around. You get to turn around and have a conscience and be crying on TV talking about what he did.
Exactly. And that's my point. I'm not saying that Diddy did it. He didn't do it. But my thing is, even with Bill Cosby, when all these things was happening with Bill Cosby, even the stuff that's going on now with Smokey Robinson, what makes y'all wait all these years? Like, I can't remember what happened to me 2 weeks ago, and y'all can tell me from play by play of something that happened 10, 20 years ago. You know exactly what you was doing. You was under the influence, all these things, but you can remember play by play.
Right. And that kind of lets you know how strategic people are. And then on top of that, you don't know who really is your friend, who
everybody
really
turned
there
back
for
on
you.
Diddy. And like I said, me personally, if they don't prove that they were paid, like somebody was actually getting paid to come in and out of town to do these things, I feel like Diddy is going to walk. Because not saying, like I said again, not saying anything that he did was right, but the charges that they charging him for and what was actually done is two different things. Because they're saying sex trafficking, racketeering, and all these things, and it's like the man just was an ultimate freak. And my thing is this: Cassie got paid $20 million, so that should be done with.
Right. But that lets you know that kind of lets you know how, kind of gives you a hint how weak the prosecution's case is if you feel like you got to bring her into it, because that happened.
And then they waited until she about to almost wait until her water about to break to even put on the stand. Like, they couldn't even do it so many days. Like, we got to let her go by Friday because she can go and let in labor any day now, any hour.
Right.
Like, come on.
Right. And I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and he was saying, that I forgot. What did he say? It was on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, he made a good point. When you're wealthy, when you have an extreme amount of money, you have all these things at your beck and call. Like, you can have pretty much whatever you want at any given time just by saying a word. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, when you've bought everything that you can buy, you've been every place that you can go, you've eaten everything that you can eat. I mean, you've experienced life in its at its finest. After a while, you just kind of run out of things to buy, and you start, and you feel like you start just trying to be creative at this point.
Yeah, but
You're
that
making up stuff to
that
do.
creative mind is weird. That's weird. That's
Right, and that's I
But
think
that's
then I think that's where you get.
But
You
you know
know, that's where
what?
you get what you get with this situation.
When R. Kelly came out, Diddy was doing what he was doing when Kelly came out, and everybody was saying like, you know, y'all will be surprised what people are doing in the industry. Like people would be surprised. Like even with LB Shore, for instance, LB Shore said that Diddy was doing all these things to Kim Porter, but did you see LB Shore in the picture with Diddy? Like they were best friends. So it's like
Right,
I'm confused.
right. I think that in LB Sure's case, I think that he kind of had an axe to grind as far as Kim Porter, but more so with his son. His son seemed to acknowledge Diddy more so as his father than LB Sure.
And that's
You know
what I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying?
It's some missing pieces in that.
Right,
It's something that nobody's really telling because his son is still supporting Diddy throughout this trial. He was one of the kids that was at the trial.
right.
Like he's still supporting this man, even though he allegedly killed this boy's mother.
Right, right.
So I'm like, I'm so confused with everything. And then what's sad is this is only week one. They
Right.
only went through Kid Cudi and what is the Cassie, and that's it. They haven't gone through the other people. And what's about to take place? See, Diddy is no fool because he about to do like Nino Brown. He about to take everybody down with him.
Yeah.
So whoever was doing weird stuff in the videos and all that stuff, they're gonna have to explain everything.
Yeah.
That's why I think Justin Bieber now is coming out like a lot of things, like he's acting out and so much in the media because I believe he's going to be one that going to have to testify. Usher probably is going to have to be one that's going to testify too.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what was actually seen on these videos. You got to remember that people were saying that it was women there. We're going to find out what women they were talking about. We're going to find out so many things about these celebrities. Got to think Kevin Hart, all of them, Nick Cannon, probably all these people that were with Diddy and all these things. It's going to come out. Look at Ellen DeGeneres. She moved out the country. Ashton Kutcher, they went abroad. They all left.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Just kind of backtrack a little bit. Not with Cassie and her testimony and all the things that she experienced. What do you think her husband's thinking during this time? Like, does he know all this stuff? Did she tell him this ahead of time, or is this all new to him? Or like, what do you think?
You got to think. Cassie said that Diddy came to her house and raped her on her floor. Then she turned around and had sex with him. Then she also said that she was having sex while she was FaceTiming her current husband now. So let's think. Was he the one that even pushed Cassie up to do this lawsuit? Because it's 20 million on the table here. She was trying to get more. They had to tell what she settled out for. Because remember, before they wasn't even disclosing what she got paid. So my thing is, did the husband coach her to do that? Right. Because the husband knew a lot of stuff. I don't know if he knew all of what happened, because it's like, dang, like, wow.
Right. Do you look at her the same? If you're her husband, do you look at her the same after this? Like,
it depends on what she told him, because if she tried to manipulate the situation to seem like Diddy was such a monster and it was all on him, and then when she goes on trial and understands she has to tell exactly her part in what she did, because before she just settled out, This time she had to get on the stand and tell. So she's probably done told her husband, because you know it's always three sides to the story: your side, that other person's side, and the truth. So she probably only told her side of it, and now he probably looking crazy. But that'll all pan out after the trial happened, whether they get a divorce or whatever. But you got to think it's 20 million on the line, 20 million. So he might just chuck that up, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I
you
don't,
know that
I don't know. He
that's
could get good alimony because she was married to him once he got paid. When she got paid the money, I don't know, because Cassie is nasty. I'm sorry.
Do you
It's
so
nasty.
overall, do you think that he gets off?
If Diddy does not get off, he will not. I'm thinking Diddy might get off, but if he doesn't get off, he's not going to do what they want him to do, and that's life in prison. I feel like he might get some time, probably for the guns and all these other things or whatever. But as far as the sex go, I mean, like they said, as far as him beating on Cassie, that was domestic violence. She was down for a lot of stuff, and a lot of that stuff she was doing was consensual. I mean, it was done in a sick way. They had a very toxic relationship at the end of the day, because you think she was jealous of Kim Porter, and then, like I said, then here comes Carisha coming along, and it's like, come on, because he was always taking Kim back. Kim was his number one. He would have dropped everything for Kim, but somewhere down the line, something happened to Kim, and she's no longer here. No, so
Yeah.
who knows? Like, who knows
So
what all would have panned out if she didn't die? What would have been told? Because they said it was a book. All these people that was writing these books, because they tried to even link something saying that he had something to do with Heavy D dying and what's his name? The Andre Harrell.
Andre Harrell, yeah.
But that was his sugar daddy, for what they said.
Wow, I don't know. I mean, like you said, there's so many moving parts to it. Let me ask you,
him, Clive Davis, all of them are linked in.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Okay, so let's say Diddy gets off.
Mm-hmm.
Can he still go back and do music? Like, is he washed at this point?
Did he need to go and chill with Weinstein on his island and call it a day? Because it is over. It's a wrap. Nobody's gonna want to have nothing. It's like a surgeon that do bad surgeries, and nobody else is gonna want to touch the people that they touch, because they know that it's a possibility it's going to be something that's going to fall back on them. So right. My thing is, it's like Diddy is, I don't think he could, if he gets out, he's never going to be able to redeem himself.
Wow.
It's always going to be a joke, a meme. It's always going to be a reminder.
What about R. Kelly?
I hope that they bring Day 26 on the stage, because I'm curious to know what he did to them.
Well, I see that Q has been making his rounds lately, doing interviews and crying and all of that.
But you know what? When Q came back to Rochester, when he came back to Rochester, he was traumatized when he came back. So
that's what I've been hearing. Like, I've been hearing that he was like wandering the streets.
Like he was kind of messed up when he came back, when all that stuff had ended with the group and all that stuff, and he had to come back here or whatever. It was like he was never the same. But I don't think any of them boys are ever the same.
Wow. But he seems to be the only one that even like kind of gives off the impression that something happened to him. Everybody else seems to be like regular. But I don't know.
Yeah, but then I think that Q already had like some type of issues before he went to Day 26, where they had to been like bipolar or something along the line or whatever. I don't know, but Diddy messed up a lot of people. Even the choreographer Lorianne, whatever her name is, that he put his hands on a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's crazy. I don't know if he. Yeah, I don't see him ever really being the same. You know,
Mm.
from a standpoint of
He's never
you know
gonna be the same.
the music industry. He may have to just
He's gonna be like a OJ. He's gonna be like OJ. He's gonna be like OJ, but for a different cause. Like OJ murdered Nicole, but everybody looked at him still as, even though he got off, he was still a murderer. He could never redeem himself. It was always something negative. And that's gonna be the same thing I think for Diddy. Nobody's gonna want to be around that. He's like a target. And I'm surprised if he get out, like if somebody doesn't try to do something to him.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like in the OJ situation, I feel like OJ over time, people did kind of start warming back up to him once he, got up in age.
Then he went to jail for stealing his own stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that people still, I don't think that he was totally canceled. I believe that in certain instances, time does have its way of healing certain situations and making people kind of forget. Like you look at Chris Brown, right? The whole situation with Rihanna, and there were people who said that they would never forgive him, called him a monster and all kind of things. But think about how it was then and how he is now.
He went through it for a minute.
You know what I'm saying? He went through it.
Going through it. He's still going through it a little bit.
He went through it. However, at this point now, you almost forget that it happened. You almost forget. You know what I'm saying? He has done so much since then. He has relatively stayed out of trouble outside of this last thing where he got locked up in overseas, but he has relatively stayed low key. But my point is that he has kind of regained that acceptance in the right circles. You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes in certain situations, time does hold on. Time does have its way of healing situations. You know what I mean? But I mean, we'll see. That's all I can basically say.
Time was hard. I wish they would let the cameras inside the courtroom like they did the OJ trial. Like it's not live. They're not letting the cameras in the courtroom. I'll be wanting to see. But time will tell. I'm wondering who's going to take the stand, and I wonder how long this trial is going to be. Because after a while, I'm gonna stop getting. I'm like over it already.
Yeah, I mean it's open. People are able to walk in if you come in.
Yeah, but the cameras aren't allowed, and there must be.
Yeah, I mean, but you're getting I find that you're getting a lot of commentary.
Yeah,
different ones who have seen stuff and all of that. I mean, I'm sure it's very interesting. I think overall, I don't think that he does a lot of time. I mean, because he's been in all this time, I think he might get time served and
how
maybe
much you think he gonna get?
Pay some fines. Maybe I think he might get like maybe 5 or 10 years of probation or something like that, and then he might have to pay some type of fine. Not to mention some probably some anger management / drug treatment type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
If he get found guilty, I think he's gonna do about 10 years, maybe 20.
Think so?
Yeah.
He's already been offered a plea deal, which he turned down.
He didn't take that.
Yeah, so
that's why he on trial now, because he wouldn't take that. I wonder what did they, but they never said what they actually offered him, did they?
Probably anything that involved doing jail time. He probably was like, I'm not with it.
He looks horrible too.
Yeah, I mean, he don't have just for
He
men.
got
You
the
know what I'm
Beijing on deck. You know what I'm saying?
saying? Yeah. What's going on, Shani?
Hey, you done doing here? No.
No, that was Kim.
Oh, who was that?
Shanik is she was on last time. You don't remember her? She was on last time when we were all on too, but
I think I remember her. Did
she
she
might
do?
not have.
Oh, she do the exercising in the chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't hear you though. Can you say something?
I can't hear her. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Is her mic on?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're muted. Say something. Nope.
Can't hear her.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, anything that involved doing time, I'm sure he was like, I'm not with it.
I think
You know what I'm saying?
I think he gonna get some time though. I don't think he just gonna be on no monetary. But then again, you never know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, he's done quite a bit of time already.
well, I
He's
feel
done
like
a little bit of time.
if they let Diddy walk, then they need to let R. Kelly go. I think R. Kelly done served enough time.
I feel like R. Kelly. Yeah, I feel like he should be let go too. I think he should be. I think he was kind of railroaded. Like he was made the scapegoat for a lot of things. And then, like I said, like I was saying earlier about how a lot of these people now who enabled him before and helped him before now get to come
Now
back
they
and
like,
say,
I seen everything.
you know what I'm saying? And I can't believe it. I'm so sorry and blah blah. And they crying and there's no charges, no repercussions, no nothing. If I go out, if you go out and rob a bank and I drive the getaway car, then I'm going to jail too. If I'm accomplice
That's
to
what I'm saying. So all the witnesses that seen these things and took apart or knowingly knew these things, what is their punishment?
right.
Because like they said, if you see something, say something. Nobody said anything. Now all of a sudden, now people have a voice.
Right. Because it's serving them, and now they can make money off of it. Like a lot of these
going to be
they on the interview, they doing the interview circuit. They on this show and that show and writing books.
You know what? What's his name? Orlando Brown, whatever that boy, whatever his name is, that used to be on That's So Raven. Yeah. Everybody was saying that boy was crazy. He was on drugs, and he used to make comments about Diddy all the time.
Yeah.
And he used to make them gay accusations all the time. And now look, everybody that was saying something now it's like, oh yeah. But they've been saying this about Diddy for the longest. They talked about them parties for the longest. You always heard about how wild Diddy parties were. So I'm pretty sure Jamie Foxx must be coming to the stand. Yeah, because it's a lot of them that was talking about the parties.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like you were saying earlier, it's a lot to be hashed out. It's a lot of stuff to be rolled out. It's only the trials. I think last week was like maybe the second week or something like that, or second.
I thought was it the first week? Oh no, well this is week 2. Yeah, this was week 2. First week was. Wait a minute, because they said Cassie had to go get off the stage by Friday. Yeah, so this would have been the first week. Yeah, from Friday to Friday, whatever. Because they said that your last day on stage was Friday of last.
Okay. Yeah, so this
has been only a week.
Yeah, so it's probably a lot. Like you were saying, it's a lot more to be talked about. To be let out the bag or whatever. And I know a lot of people are probably sitting on the edge of their seat right now, like,
heck yeah, could you imagine like being at a Diddy party and then like thinking like, dang, what was I doing anything on camera? Trying to think, even if you wasn't doing nothing, you trying to think like, was I doing anything?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It's all gonna come out. I'm just curious to see the next person that's gonna have to testify. Cause I didn't hear too much about Kid Cudi other than he said that Diddy came in the house and opened up the Christmas gifts that was in his house or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they cut a thing in the convertible of his car and put a Mai Tai cocktail in there.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's
And
pretty
then he
crazy.
said he met up with Diddy somewhere out of state or somewhere. They met up somewhere, and then Diddy act like he didn't know what Kid Cudi was even talking about when he talked about the car catching on fire. So,
I mean, they was doing a lot of drugs, so maybe he don't know.
yes, they was doing a lot of pink cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
They was doing a lot of that pink cocaine.
Yeah, so you don't know. I mean,
he had a lot of baby oil.
wow.
Johnson & Johnson made a lot of money off of Diddy. You gotta think.
Yeah, he kept the lights on in that building, in that Johnson & Johnson building.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. Cassie should be having her baby any day now. Then we'll see what's going on in the news with her and her husband. People probably gonna make up stuff too along the way. Make up fake beef, saying they got issues and don't even have nothing going on. But for the most part, he seemed like he really loved his wife. But who knows? He could be playing for the cameras and then going home talking junk to her. So
you never know.
He could be like, "You didn't tell me that part." No.
Yeah, everything right. Everything is seem like it's so strategic. Even the friendships and the alliances, you know, they're all seem to be calculated.
But nobody's saying they was friends of Diddy. No.
Yeah. Like even Jay-Z was like, nah, we're not friends.
That just go to show you, like, when, regardless of when you do dirt or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless if you did dirt or what, it's like, dang, like all the people that you thought was down with you or for you or whatever, like where they at now? It's like, where are your friends now?
What TLC say? What about your friends? Yeah.
Are they gonna be low down?
Yeah.
All his friends was low down and down. Yeah, that's
because so when you see this all going on, does it make you self-reflect on the company that you keep and the friendships that you have currently? Like, has it changed how you view friendship?
Oh, well, I view my friendships way different, like before the Diddy trial. But I mean, yeah, for the most part, that just show you that people ain't, you know, that loyalty is very rare, because you know everybody has their own meaning to certain things when it comes to stuff. So people say they loyal or not loyal. So it just goes to show you that not everybody is loyal.
Right. So Shauna, we were talking about the Diddy trial and all the ups and downs of, you know, what came along with that. But we were just talking about when you see how a lot of Diddy's so-called friends in the industry and stuff, when this happened, they kind of distanced themselves from him, and he's kind of been on his own island at this point. Has it? I don't know how much you've paid attention to it or watched it or anything, but how has it made you kind of like rethink how you look at friendship for yourself? Like, do you look at friendship a totally different way when you see how people have kind of distanced themselves from him and now he's kind of like fighting on his own or whatever? Like, has it affected how you see friendship or what you define friendship as?
Well, I would say that before the Diddy trial and the things that are happening to him, I view friendships differently.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, because I went through not that I didn't do anything Diddy did, but I'm just saying through life changes and through life circumstances, people disappear when you actually go through, even the closest ones to you. And what that proves is that at the end of the day, it's you and that pillow at nighttime. That's it. You know, so I had already viewed friendships. I used to love having friends. I used to be very like, you know, Diddy throwing, you know, he throw the parties and stuff, and though he done some things, but he was the guy. You know, he was that guy. And then now, since he's not the guy, everybody's turned away, and you know, they on to the next person. But that's what happens. You know, and no one wants to be held accountable for anything that's affiliated with him, which is sad, because a real friend gonna tell you that you're wrong.
Right.
You know, I believe that everybody who was involved behind club should be behind bars too, because they need to be held accountable as well. They, you know, they're victims. But you, okay, I understand that some of the women, you know, they felt like they were victims, and they, you know, maybe it was a narcissistic situation. But however, his male friends, they knew better.
Oh, so are you trying to tell me? Are you really gonna sit up here and try to tell me that the men are supposed to be held to a higher, different standard than the women in this situation?
Well,
are you really trying to say that?
What?
Yep.
Why is that?
Well, for me, men are leaders.
Okay.
Whether you a man of God or not, you a leader. And my thing is, if you are sick in your mind, or you have some type of addiction, or even at the end of the day, even if you have an addiction, you know deep down in your gut that those things were wrong towards a woman, whether or not she was susceptible to it or not. Because some women are in situations because they don't know how to say no, or they're dealing with self-esteem, you know, or they trying to get, you know, somewhere in the industry. And men, real men, should have held themselves accountable, or others accountable. Because for me, I know that you know, things that they were doing, like the, you know, nasty, the peeing. I'm gonna just say it. Like, who does that? You know what I'm saying? Even though I know it's a nasty fiction and it's a provocative thing that they do, but really, now we know we wrong. I think they should have been held accountable for, you know what I'm saying, for that, because women are supposedly the weaker vessel, but we need strong men. That's just my opinion. I mean, I could get shot down for that, but it is.
What do you say about that, Cooley?
Well, I think everybody should be held accountable, regardless if it was man, woman, whoever was there, need to be held accountable for.
Makes sense.
If they seen it.
I have a different perspective on the whole man-woman dynamic. Now, the money might be a part that makes it a little different, but generally, and I feel like I said this on the last time we were all together. I feel like women have a lot more influence than we give them credit for, and even that they give themselves credit for. You know, I said, you know, there's a time in my life where I would say a good, like I said, 80 to 90% of everything I did was directly or indirectly tied to getting the attention of a female. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, whether it be being in the gym, whether it be the job, whether it be my bank account, the clothes I wore, my haircut, being groomed, smelling, you know, good, all these things are these, they make you feel good as a person. But if I'm being honest, there was also a dynamic of like, yo, I'm wearing this certain cologne because I've heard or I have certain experience that women like this certain scent, or I'm wearing this certain brand of sneaker, or I might wear this certain brand of clothes or whatever because when I've heard that women like these men that dress this way or this type of whatever. So
Maybe
like,
I'm single because I've never thought of that. I've never done anything based upon getting somebody else's attention. I've never done that. I've never done that. Maybe I should. I've never done that. I'm saying maybe I should because I never do things out of, like, well, let me do this because I think, maybe he might look. No.
yeah, well,
Maybe that's why I got nobody. Maybe because I don't.
Maybe we're speaking from two different perspectives. I'm speaking about how it was, and you're speaking about how it should be.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying maybe if I would have think like that, maybe because I've never done things on the conscience of, I've never done something, I've never bought something or did my hair a certain way or wore something just to think, you know what I'm saying? Like to get the attention of somebody else. I'm being serious. I've never done that.
I wish I could say that. You know what I'm saying? But there are moments that I have I've done that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that was because at a certain point that was a priority for me. You know what I'm saying? That was a point in my life that it was a priority.
Yeah.
What was a priority?
I get that.
You said what
was the priority? Getting somebody's attention?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing. I've never made that a priority.
We different as women. You know what he was trying to get. That's what his mindset was. What was he trying to get? He put on the right perfume. He got the right shoes. Driving the car.
Be like, "Oh, that smell good."
Yeah.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Good.
He was trying to get the girl to drop her dunk. You know what I mean?
Like, oh my God, you smell like a man. Oh yeah, well, I can...
but that means nothing to us.
Right. Okay.
Some of us.
Yeah, I'm about to say some women because it's like, what are these women going to get the BBLs?
Now, come on. Listen, Shanik, please stop it. Now, if you guys gotta have some type of. You may not have a type, quote unquote, but I'm sure that there are some things that are just non-negotiable. Like you gotta have somebody that bathes consistently and smells nice.
But that's natural. Like nobody
that's
natural. Somebody that's
self-care. Yeah.
No, like that's somebody who don't take care of their hygiene. Nah.
And that's well groomed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you like men with beards, make sure they beards.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
You should comb it. That's just.
Huh?
That's just natural. Like you should want to comb your hair. You should want to brush your teeth. You should want to smell good. Those are the, but as far as like the women get the BBLs, what are they doing that for?
I don't even know why they want that. Because Lord.
Because why are they doing it for the attention of who? They want to feel better about themselves. Well, they could.
I know an individual. I know a couple of individuals who have had that, and they have had like the breast enhancement as well, because of the way they self-reflect themselves for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so some do it to make themselves feel better about themselves. That's just what they want. You know what I mean? It's not the women that I know as far as the breast enhancements, it was for themselves, it was a self-esteem thing with them, and their husbands preferred them to do it. And then I have another individual that I know who had got some enhancements in her her hips, because her husband wanted her to, and she did it. So it's perspectives.
Now, okay. That's an interesting subject. Now, if I'm in a relationship with you, or if I'm married to you, whatever, and let's say I met you in a certain space. Like when I met you, you were like curvy and all that, and then you lost a bunch of weight. Right now, you don't look like you did when I met you, and that was one of the things that I was attracted to you about. Right now, you've changed your appearance so much so that you don't even look like the same person, and so now, from a physical standpoint, I'm not even like attracted to you in the same way.
So that means that you were with me on conditions.
No, I feel like, when you're in relationships, there are different sections. Like if you marry, you are your parent, your parents, but you're also husband and wife. But
Right.
you're also friends.
Right.
You're also spiritual buddies, like spiritual entities. There's so many different facets to the relationship, and this particular facet, this physical aspect is I look at you, I don't look at you the same. I'm not attracted to you the same.
Okay.
Like, should I be held responsible for that? Am I wrong? Am I a bad guy for that?
Yes. Because I feel like if I was with you, say for instance, God forbid, say you became diabetic or something and we were together and something happened to where you had to get one of your limbs cut off. Now, when I got with you, you had both of them limbs. Something happened to where you lost one of them, maybe both of them. Should I leave you because you're different looking now?
Well, I'm not. See, you're taking it to another level. You're talking about leaving. I'm just talking about. I'm not attracted to you physically.
But should I be attracted?
I'm not talking about. Hey, I'm out because of this. I'm not going to leave you just simply because of that. But I'm saying, like, if a person appearance changes, to a certain point, am I wrong for like? Would you, or should I, if you were my wife or my significant other, do you want me to tell you that?
I mean, I would want a person to tell me, and I would want my mate to tell me the truth, but I mean, it depends on if those physical aspects changes, are you going to change on me? Are you going to start cheating on me? Are you going to stop sleeping with me? Like, what's happening? Yeah, because you could be turned off by a lot of things. People change as they get older, but where do we go from here when those things change?
Well,
because some people step out on their relationships because of things like that, because they're not attracted anymore.
What do you say about that, Shauna?
I would say that marriages or relationships have different seasons, as you were saying, and I believe that during those seasons of change, growth, laid back, or whatever you may be going through, the cycles of change for a male and for a female, that hard conversations need to be had, and that maybe somewhere in between there, it could be some type of healthy compromise, as far as body changes and you're not looking the same, and you're going through you've been a mom and you've been 255 pounds for years, and you have a health issue going on, and the doctor said you need to lose this weight, and you lose this weight, and your mate may not like it. It needs to be some conversations being said. I just look at it different, and if you're not attracted to me, after all that, then boy, bye. That's just me.
Right. Because it's just like, Yeah, because it's like we've been together for years, and then all of a sudden now you're not attracted to me. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, and then
What
like,
am, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
What am I supposed to do?
That's true. It needs to be a conversation had. And if you have to go separate ways, then you just have to go separate ways. I'm not even going to put Bible on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I could. But, sometimes we stay too long in mess when we unhappy and we don't like the way a person look, or whatever like that. So I just think those conversations need to be had. But I can't, if you're not attracted to me no more, and I'm healthy and I'm looking better and I'm feeling better and I'm at a different season in my life, then I don't believe you're going along with the season with me. You're not my soulmate. We don't have purpose.
You know what? Relationships are so hard because you have to please another person, and it's just like,
Can you carry on a healthy relationship if you're not attracted? If the physical attraction is the only thing that's weak in the relationship, if you're good parents, if you still date, if you're still spiritually, whatever, is it possible to kind of omit that if everything else is strong?
I mean, if that's the key thing to your relationship, the physical part, then no, it's not going to work.
So I'm asking, if that's not working, could you manage with everything else?
I mean, I could, but would the mate be able to do that? Like, I think I could.
Shanique, if you knew,
if I knew my mate wasn't attracted to me, could I make
right?
No.
Right. But I'm saying he's not cheating on you. He still treats you well.
Because I'm an overthinker, so I'm always gonna be. Then that's when I'm gonna start mentally tearing my own self down. Because now I'm gonna be like, well, I'm always gonna wonder, is this good enough? Is that good enough? I'm always gonna try to.
But see, this is the thing. So if he's not attracted to me, then I mean we not making love. I can't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, that's no way. You can pay the bills. You can do this. I need that. I need that. You know what I'm saying? Get attracted to me.
Okay.
That's how I flow. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my love language.
Okay.
So touch. You know what I'm saying? Words of affirmation. That's my love language. So for me, no, thank you. I would just have to be done with it.
Okay, now on the flip side of that, let me ask y'all this. Well, then, how much influence do I have, or should I have, over your appearance? If, for instance, if you lose some weight, right, and I'm like, yo, you don't look the same. You don't got those hips I like, or wherever. Like, is it fair for me to ask you to, like, can you like gain like maybe 10 more pounds, or
what?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it fair? Like,
no.
Am I out of bounds?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Well, for me, I'm on the fence, because that's where the hard conversation has to come in. So what I would do is I would have to the weight train, because I wouldn't want to gain the weight. I would just have to gain the muscle. You want my hips?
Yeah.
Squat. I mean, that's what we're doing. The healthy compromise. You know what I mean? Not that I have to gain my weight back, but there are other ways that you can gain weight without fat.
Exactly.
You can squat it out, boo. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, the hard conversations. So finding a solution, so that everything can kind of work its way out. I mean, you may not like everything about your mate, but you can talk about everything.
But you'll be willing to at least attempt to compromise. Like, if I'm, so basically what I hear you saying is that it's not necessarily beyond the pale for me to make that type of request to you. Like, you wouldn't be offended if I
It depends on how you say it to me.
That's right.
It depends on what's said.
Okay, so if I said it the quote unquote right way, then I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to help me, not like, oh, you like turned off. Like, if you say like, well, can you just gain 10 pounds, or like, you know, like how she said, like, well, let's exercise, let's try to do something to gain the weight back, versus just like, you need to gain weight.
Yeah, I think that if it's in a marriage, I think that each mate should honor one another, and I think that I'm just still stuck on a conversation and communicating. That's key, and then you can come to some kind of healthy compromise with that. You know, now maybe I gain 5 back. Can I get 5? You know what I mean? You season your work race, baby. I'm gonna show you how I work with 5. You know what I'm saying? Like Dee was saying, it's how it's how you present yourself and how you you speak to me on it,
Yeah, because if you just say it in a way that you like turned off by it, I don't know how I would take that.
Right.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. You guys always like surprise me when I get on here. I always think that I know I have a good idea of what you're gonna say, but then you guys, I don't know if you guys talk offline and conspire or whatever.
I'm like, hey girl, you done doing hair? Then I'm like,
right.
Who is that?
Y'all always manage to throw a curveball. Throw me a curveball.
Me and Dee, we spiritually connected because we don't even be talking offline.
Yeah.
So going a little bit back to what we were talking about, are the two of you going to sit here and tell me that looks don't matter? Do they matter?
Like I said the last time,
teeth matter.
I don't want nobody that looks like a science project. However, I mean,
wow.
I'm not looking for no LED, or you know what I'm saying? Like, looks is not the first thing on the list of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want nobody who just like ugly. Like,
now has that always been your way, or do you feel like at the age you are now?
My mother has said, Dina, like she always said, like, I just don't care. Like, I really don't. It's not like I'm not. It has to be something really, really wrong for me to be like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have. Like I said, not nothing like, you remember that movie The Mask with Cher? Nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm worried about how you treat me and how you make me feel as a person. That's my number one thing.
That's beautiful.
I want to feel secure. I don't want to doubt myself. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to feel like that's my man. Like, he liked me for me, and I like him for him. I've never been like that. Because everybody has flaws. Yeah. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, that's fact. How about you, Nick?
Well, for me, teeth matter.
Oh, yes, okay. Yes, definitely.
Oh, yeah. I would just say that right out. Your mouth.
That is true. I don't even think about that, but I think you should.
Like, I can deal with other things, but your teeth, they gotta. If they not yours and you got them in and they good, we fine.
Right.
But yeah, teeth matter, I would say. And also, I was the type of person, I would date anybody, didn't matter if you were. Yeah, I had just almost a year ago, Lord help me, I had dated, I was dating somebody who was like 400 and something pounds. Can you believe it? The fitness girl. But yeah, so.
Hold up, Nick. Somebody's asking what your sign is, and that's another good question. Do you put any? You don't put any weight into those zodiac signs, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
You're not supposed to. Because of my beliefs, I'm not supposed to. But sometimes that do be like that. You know,
I'm a Cancer.
I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
Girl, what?
Okay.
I'm a Cancer.
Your birthday.
So I'm not. I'm a Cancer. So I'm a lover. I'm a lover.
When's your birthday?
My birthday is July 16th.
Okay, mine is July 7th.
Oh, so you a
Okay.
July Cancer? Okay. 'Cause
My daughter, her birthday is the July 11th.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Yes, we're very emotional, crazy people. So no, it's not.
No, but I didn't mean to cut you off, Nick. What were you saying? You said you dated a guy that was 400 pounds.
Yeah, and it was great, but he couldn't do it because I guess I apply pressure, you know. So don't tell me, you know, you're already working and doing and stuff, and I'm gonna help you towards your goal, and then I expect for you to help me as well. But I think it was something that he just couldn't do, as he knew he couldn't hold on to it. But other than that, I don't care.
He could.
Yo, you good? We good? Yes, ma'am.
You said he couldn't do what?
He didn't want. I didn't have any kind of physical thing, you know. But as far as like, because I'm a go getter. I'm shaking. I'm moving. I'm like, where we going? What we doing? We on to the next thing. You know, he was a little laid back because of
His weight.
right. So it was like, do your thing that you good at or whatever. Boom, and then we chilling. And I'm just like a person. I like to be out. So that didn't. I guess that didn't work for him because I'm not a Netflix and chill person.
Me either.
But majority I'm not because I barely watch TV.
Yeah, I don't do the let's chill, get up and chill in the house time. I want to do stuff because I'm a person, I'm a homebody anyways. So I want to go outside. Right?
Yeah.
If you start talking about you want company or all coming over, no.
Okay. Let me ask you this, guys. So I was on Instagram or something a couple of weeks ago, and there was a young lady on there from one of the reality shows, and she was saying that if a guy dates her, the first date he has to spend a minimum of $50,000 on the first date.
What?
Now, stupid.
I don't know who or what that's all about, and where would you spend $50,000 at on an evening out? I don't understand. However, but with that being said, I'm sure it's not. You don't have a $50,000 expectation, but I'm saying, do you have like a base expectation of the amount of money that a person spends on you on the first date?
I would just be honored if somebody asked me to go on a date.
So you telling me if somebody
so the amount of money, just be like, okay. But
so if somebody wanted to take you to McDonald's for dinner, that's okay with you?
On the first date?
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that because I like McDonald's. I like their cheeseburgers. So
But that's not the point. The point is that this is your first date.
If that's what they can afford.
Come on.
No,
You being
here's the thing. If that's what they can afford, no, I'm not looking for a McDonald's date. I mean, come on now. I mean, if somebody asked me to go to McDonald's on the first date and their money was kind of tight, but they wanted to take me out, I probably wouldn't be opposed to that if they were a real genuine person that I was feeling. Because sometimes people have hard times. And that's for real. Seriously. And I'm not even just saying that just to be saying it. Now, would I want to go to McDonald's all the time? I would like to go somewhere nice.
Well, I would say that if a person is having having hard times, as you say, should they even be going out on dates anyway?
definitely not. It depends on what you could go on a nice friendly date. Now, if you expecting some hoo-ha or a nice time afterwards, you better not be trying to take me to no Ronald McDonald.
No, it don't even have to be like that. I'm saying like or at the very least, I'm expecting some type of future. Like
I mean, a future, but then that's the thing. Like, if I had somebody and they was like that, and we building the future, then like we building, like we supposed to uplift each other. If
but this is the first date. Like I'm
date,
dating with a purpose. I'm dating with a purpose, but at this present moment, I'm taking you to McDonald's because I'm going through, as you say, a tough time. This is a tough time for me. So if this is a tough time for me, do I even need to be trying to not wine and dine you, but do I even need to be trying to take you anywhere at this point? Because
at that point, you really need to be trying to get your life together.
Facts is that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you should be getting your life together and not really trying to be out here dating. You need to be more focused on getting some type of employment or something. But like I said, again, it depends on. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that because I've never been put in that.
What about you, Nick?
Well, I would say he must be the owner of that franchise of that McDonald's.
Right.
You said you better be BFFs with Ronald, huh?
Yeah.
So what I hear you saying is that you not doing it. You're not doing that on the first date.
I don't know. I haven't been out on a date so long. I'll probably be just psyched to go to Mickey D's. I'll even go get a $5 biggie bag. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. So why wouldn't you go?
Who, me?
Nick.
Oh.
Well, because that's just not what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, I don't even believe that I would even have myself in a situation to where he could say, come on, let's go to McDonald's. That's just me. I'd rather go to the beach.
Right. Be creative with it,
We can go get a 4-piece and we can go to the beach. Like we can do it like that, or we can get the 4-piece nugget and we can like sit in the car at the beach. I don't know. I'm just saying, but I don't think that I would even have, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not even trying to be deep, but for me, I wouldn't be setting myself up to talk to individuals who are on that level.
On a McDonald's salary. I mean, on a McDonald's,
unless he owned it.
Right.
And he was the
That's
man.
True. I mean, I can see that.
Because it's perspective for me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it, but where am I at? You know what I'm saying? Because where I'm at as far as age now. If I was 20,
right. You know what? Now that is true. Right.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I was 25, that would be fun. But I'm 48. Unless we taking our kids, we getting together with our children and we're going, we going on first date. Oh, kids come, we going to Mickey D's. Kids meet up too. Something like that is what I'm saying. Yeah. Seasons and reasons. Because I'm really not knocking it. But for where I am, I don't want no McDonald's date. Can we at least go? We can get McDonald's, but I just want to go to can we go to the park and set up, like a picnic or something? Different things like that is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't
put me up to the
Okay.
Go to the drive-thru and sit in the parking lot and eat your nuggets. No.
Yeah, so it would be adventurous, but I think that would be a test because men like to do stuff like that. I'm at McDonald's, because I've been out here in this dating game and they do stuff like that.
I done gave up. I don't even bother.
Restaurant. I've been to the greatest restaurant, and and then they're expecting something. Like, I didn't ask you to take me here. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? So I just think conversations is very important. That's something that I've learned from being married twice. Um, and then just communication
Yeah.
and having hard conversations. I don't want to go to McDonald's. Do you own McDonald's?
Okay. I was on Instagram today, and saw this girl that I know. She was saying how she was like, man, you can't even be friendly to these dudes no more. She's like, you have a conversation with them and they trying to be your man like right after. Like she said she had a conversation with this dude. I guess they went somewhere and he took her home and she gave him a hug. And when she went to give him a hug, he tried to kiss her. He tried to kiss her, tried to kiss her
Been there.
on the mouth or whatever. And
Oh.
he's like, listen, this is our first time, getting to know each other, going out and doing whatever. And so I say all that to ask this question to y'all, like, when it comes to basic, like, social settings, like, is it hot? Is that a challenge for you? Like, when you have conversation with God, like you're having a conversation, they trying to holler. You think that you're just having a friendly conversation, but they seeing more, or they're hoping for more. Is that something that you guys deal with or experience regularly, or like with that?
I have experienced that. Yeah, I have. I've experienced that.
And how did you navigate that? How were you able to put the brakes on? Like, how were you able to make it clear, hey, look, this is just I'm not interested. I'm just, talking. We sitting at this doctor's appointment together, and we just happen to be in here at the same time. It's nothing, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
How do I deal with that? I basically just let it be known, like, we not on it like that. I have had to tell somebody, like, we not on it like that. I had to do it in a way where I had to basically go off because they didn't have a real understanding of we not on it like that. Like, you calling me or texting me like real late at night. No, we not on it like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I had to explain, like, you can't be doing that because you don't know what situation I'm in to be texting or calling me like late at night like that. What if I'm sitting up here chilling with somebody else? So, I've had to do that in a not so friendly way.
Okay. How about you, Nick?
Well, I'm pretty straightforward. If I'm not interested, I'm just gonna say I'm not interested. But I haven't really, I'll just say I'm not interested, or I'll just kind of cut you off respectfully. But I'm a little bit different from my sister right here because sometimes I feel, sometimes people do call late at night because I'm a person that's called and needed on a lot. Sometimes those late night calls may be something different depending on your relationship with that individual, that male. Because I've had males that I've cut off seriously, but they kind of call me because they need some advice or they may need some kind of prayer or something like that. So it depends on who you are, that window of that. And then I use do not disturb. So, I don't have to worry about nobody calling me. So put do not disturb on friend. You know what I'm saying? On everything. Yeah. At 9:00 p.m. And I put my Facebook on do not disturb. I block it.
I don't even know how to do that on Facebook where you can't, because people think because that green light is on that they think you're online, and I don't be. Like, a lot of times I don't.
You can time yourself, and you can do that, but it's really about, so when you draw the line of demarcation. So sometimes you really don't have to cut a person off because it's how you move and how you maneuver. You know what I'm saying? And people will get the picture. Respectfully. especially with being a businesswoman or a woman of God or a man of God. You know, you just kind of do it. You know, you just do it smooth. You know, and they'll get it.
Yeah, and that's like when you talk about spiritual being, you know, spirituality and the whole church dynamic. Like, man, like that has to be. I didn't meet D in a church setting. You know what I'm saying? We met outside, you know, outside of, you know, our church setting. So that wasn't even really a factor in our relationship.
Right.
But when you are, especially when you are dealing with somebody that actually like goes to the same church or serves with you, stuff like that, that has to be like a different type of challenge. You know what I mean? So
we go to the same church.
Yeah, that has to be.
Yeah, so
and I'm not even gonna. You know what? I was tempted, but I'm not even gonna ask you. I'm not even gonna ask.
Oh, me?
Yes, I'm not even gonna ask you.
I'm transparent as a mug. Come on.
I'm like, go ahead and ask.
Come on. We want to know.
No, I'm not even gonna ask you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Ask me tomorrow at church then.
Okay, I'll ask you tomorrow. I'm not even going. I don't even want to ask you on air. But yeah, that has to be a different animal. But you know, being single women, you know what I mean, of a certain age, you know, it has to be. Do you find that men try to treat you like you're 20 and 25? You know, like they talk to you in that way, or like kind of a
like you, yes, where you have to tell them like, look, I'm grown, stop playing.
Well, I think I asked you guys this before, but I'm gonna ask you again. What's the biggest mistake that men make when they approach you? Not the biggest, but the most common mistake.
Talking sexual, like talking sexual, like you just know something's gonna happen between us. That's not gonna happen.
And that's the same.
That's part of the conversation. Like you start off talking sexually. Like I don't like that.
For me, I think I don't like to because I'm shapely. So that's always the first thing. And I'm so tired of that. You know, but I can't help it. It's nothing that you can help, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm do it. But if you oh my I can't stand that. Hey mommy, oh that irritates me so. You know, hey mommy, hey sexy, you know. That like just say hello beautiful or how you doing, you know, that would be great. But that hey mama and all that sizing me up, looking me up and down and stuff, and just walk up to me and have a conversation. That would be great. Now, when I was younger, you know, in my 20s and 25, hey mama, I'd be like, hey, you know, but now, I didn't outgrew that. You know, it's childish, you know, but as I adult, I put away them childish things.
I feel you.
And if I get with my mate and he want to say, hey mommy, come, hey, we on. Different. But if we outside of that, you know, no, you don't have that. But we, yeah, you know, yeah.
Wow. I mean, but in their defense, as I'm speaking as a man, that's the first thing we see. You know what I'm saying? We have to, you know, you're visually pleasing to the person's eye, so that's the first thing, you know, that you see. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes that gets held against the man, but what do you expect me to do if you are not attractive? You know what I'm saying? Like, then 9 times out of 10, if you're not attracted to me for whatever reason, then most likely I'm not going to approach you. But if I find you attractive initially, then I'm more likely to approach you. Now, the whole mommy thing, and I guess that's all subjective. I guess it depends on the type of person that you are. But I think sometimes men get held accountable for having eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I understand that because I know men are visual and I don't mind that, but I just don't like to be called the names. You know, I know that I know that men are visual and like to look. And I know that that's a thing. So I'm not going against it. Look on, brother. But I'm just saying, don't call me mama. You know, or you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, but I've been told that I'm just not approachable anyways. People tell me that I always be looking mean or something like that. So,
girl, you need to
smile. But you know what? It's not even that. Sometimes I just be like so into my thoughts to where I'm not even realizing how my face is looking.
What reality is around you. You got to practice.
I'll be trying.
Muscles to
It does. It does.
Or even if you can't smile with your mouth, you can smile with your eyes.
Then I'll be looking
okay.
Then I'll be
Okay.
Then I
D, you seem like
but I
you
know
need,
what you're saying about that though.
you seem like you need some training or something. You need to go to this class or something.
I do.
No,
I do.
You need to relax.
I
You need to breathe.
Because I just don't even bother.
Breathe.
What you say? Breathe. I breathe.
You need to breathe. You need to breathe.
I do breathe.
Like,
how am I supposed to breathe?
When you
I'm just saying, what way am I supposed to breathe to look like I'm not?
When we be irritated and we be feeling like we about to pop.
Oh yeah, bye.
When people tell you unapproachable, you can just say I'm smiling. Because people used to say that about me because I have a resting face.
Yes,
I be in church, don't I got a resting face, Mike?
I don't even know what that means. So you got to explain to me.
What does that mean? No expression. You don't know how to take a person just by looking at them. You don't know. Yes, a lot of times I could just be looking blank.
I have a resting face as well. And my sister always says, when you're on podcasts and different things like that, you need to smile because you look like you're mad.
When I smile, it's just like my whole face feel like it's smiling. It's feel like everything like the Grinch, feel like So that's why I like smiling because it just feel like everything, like my teeth, everything is just showing like.
But you have beautiful teeth.
So I don't like doing that. So I just try to, look. I try to just look blank, like. I don't know. I do need some training. No,
you know what? Look in the mirror and just practice smiling because practice it. Just practice smiling and love it. Just say.
But when I be at church, nobody ever tells me that at church. No, listen.
What I'm saying, they be the ones.
I'm
gonna tell you, girl, smile. Like, don't be so hard on yourself because
I am my worst critic. I'm telling you.
You need
I beat myself up so much with everything. That's why I just don't even. Yeah, because I do. I could get myself all together and I'll be like, oh, okay, you look cute. And then I'll start looking at myself and then I'll just start pick.
You know what that is? That's the spirit of the devil. So I'ma say it. Because but that's a root. Oh Lord, we done went from one thing to the other. But that's a root, D, and it needs to be pulled up. And you have the power to pull it up because I know about that. Because rejection was my thing.
And see,
So
thing.
so when I would put, because see, I don't have the best skin in the world, but in Jesus' name I do. And I had to start embracing that I have, they used to call me crater face. So I'm embracing the fact that I have big pores, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And my skin may not be as beautiful, but honey, I embrace myself and I don't nitpick myself anymore. You just have to practice. You see what I'm saying? Practice makes better, but you have to retrain your brain.
Yes, I tell myself.
Smiling does not hurt. See, when you start smiling, there's freedom in smiling. There's freedom in your smile. So you got to start smiling. And then, girl, all the men's going to be trying to approach you.
No, then I'm not going to smile. I'll be like, no, I don't like that.
Tell them, I really appreciate that compliment. No, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
There you go. Look at you.
I'm practicing already.
Yep. Even if
Too much.
Practicing
Yep.
already.
Too much.
and then you're going to be like, yeah, I go to McDonald's with you.
And I want to size my bill up to a large.
Oh, biggie.
Yeah. I want the large frying.
Yeah, terrible. Terrible.
Oh my God. And
Yes.
That's
my girl. She gonna get her smile back.
I know. I don't know. I don't know what it be about me. I don't know. I just don't want to be bothered with the okie doke.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through so much to where it's just like I don't even want to be bothered.
I understand.
I don't even think I want to even be in a relationship. Sometimes I do, but then I'll be like, no.
Well, how is somebody going to get to you if you shut all the way down?
I don't know. No, that's the thing. I don't know.
You know, the thing.
I don't know. I've never been approached by anybody that was, worth me just saying, okay. Or if it is, then it just be like, okay, I'm gonna give this person, I'm gonna talk to this person. Then it just be a whole bunch of dumb stuff.
Yeah. And
so it just be like, I don't even feel like going through all that. So I just be better. Sometimes I feel like I'm better off being by myself.
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
It's just less drama because, like I said, relationships to me seem like it's a lot of work. It's a lot. You have to try to people please and doing all these things and compromising and all that stuff. That's not me.
So you're gonna be single?
I have accepted being single. Yes.
Okay.
Now, if that changes, that'll be a shock to the world for the people that know me. But for the most part, I have accepted being single.
Good for you. Because
I think I probably have said it so I've gotten too comfortable with that.
It's okay.
No, that's not. But it's in a way, it's not, because it's just like I don't really even be paid. Like sometimes I've had people that said like they really liked me or something like that, and they moved on. But it's just like I didn't even pay any attention. Like I don't even really be paying people attention like that sometimes. A person can really like me, and I would never even know it because I don't even.
But you know what's so amazing is that there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about the singleness, right? Mm-hmm. And then it says that when you're single, you can do the things of the Lord. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what you choose for yourself, to be single, then you work in and you do the works of the Lord and what your purpose is here on this earth. Now, for me, I use that scripture only because I am single right now and I'm going to be doing my things in the earth for purpose for God right now. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to have me a husband in the name of Jesus, a godly man. So,
that's the thing.
But I'm not going to shut
somebody
myself
that's in charge.
down. But I'm not gonna, huh?
I said I would like to find somebody that go to church and stuff like that, but
well, I found somebody who went to church, and I'm divorced after 13 years. So, so yeah, you know, so you just said you want to be single, And then you just said you want to find
because I would want to find somebody that's like on the same
level
level
or higher.
Yeah, or that can bring me where we can be on the
right. Because I'm gonna need me a prayer warrior because I'm an intercessor. And so you need someone who can meet you what and be over you because you're so strong and that God is giving you a gift of aggression in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So like you see how I just changed your whole personality around and tapped in with God. He gave you aggression in the spirit realm. And that is why you are so rough around the edges. And be okay with that because you come to rip down and tear apart. So God is going to give you a strong man that's going to be compassionate and love you for who you are. We can believe God for that. It's okay. I'm going to get your phone number before we get off this podcast.
Good. Because hopefully this will happen for me before the dementia set in, where I can
And we ain't going to have no...
where I can remember who my man is.
Yeah.
I think that I was telling somebody the other day that we really have to refine our perspective on things, right? Like even the bad things that happen to us, we have to find the lesson or the learn in it or the positive in it or the opportunity in it. I was talking to this guy and he was saying, I'm trying to start this particular business and it's taking, longer than I expected. It seems like I get right up to the edge and I have a setback every time or whatever. So basically what I was told to tell him was that your perspective on it has to change in the sense that don't look at the time that you're spending in between, when you get to the edge and it falls back. Look at it as an opportunity to refine your whatever your movement is. You got extra time to tie up loose ends. You got extra time to make certain calls or, save a certain amount of money or whatever. It's an opportunity to tighten up what you need to tighten up.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, maybe not, and maybe this ties into dating and relationships too. I found that when you indulge in the things that you're good at or that you feel like you're led to do or that you were born to do or whatever, it takes you into certain spaces. And a lot of times the thing ain't the thing. So the thing that you think you're supposed to be doing, you'll be doing it, right? But then in the midst of doing that thing, you realize that there are other facets that you enjoy or that you're good at within that thing. Like for instance, like I do music, right? And I sing or whatever. And I feel like that's my God-given gift / talent. That I think that's somehow music somehow is attached to my destiny. So I indulge in that, writing, producing, singing, performing, ministering, right? But in the midst of doing that, I had to do everything else. I had to promote myself. I had to market myself. I had to get copyrights. I had to do, style myself, do all these things. And I realized in the midst of that I enjoy marketing. I enjoy promoting events, creating events. I enjoy talking to and collaborating with other artists. I realized that I'm a better talker than I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? And it brought me into, as the Bible talks about, it brought me into rooms of great men. It brought me amongst great men. There's certain things that I know I wouldn't if it had not been for the music, I would never have even been invited to. You know what I'm saying? And so I say all that to say don't be discouraged in your aloneness. I'm going to make up a word. Don't be discouraged in your aloneness, because with the because as long as you're doing, do while you're in your aloneness, you know what I mean? And you'll be surprised where that doing will take you. Actually, the doing, usually a lot of times the doing is the key to what you're actually looking for. So like if you're the husband that you may or may not want, your doing is the key to that husband, because it's going to bring you into the room that your husband is in. You know what I'm saying? Or the significant other is in. If you just sitting back, you're not doing nothing, you're not going nowhere, you're not nothing.
And you're right.
So you got to do. So your doing is a lot of times is the key to the relationships that you're seeking, whether they be romantic relationships, whether they be professional, spiritual, whatever. It's the doing. You know what I'm saying? Faith without works is dead. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do to prove that you're alive, to show evidence that you're living. You know what I mean?
Come on.
So
that's true, because me sitting in the house,
yeah.
in the house is not going to solve it.
So the key is your doing. You know, it's as simple as that.
Yeah,
and not to mention when you do meet that person, because you've been doing all this time, you'll be on a totally different level than you were then. When you get to that point, your mindset will be a lot more mature and experienced, and it'll just overall be better. You know what I mean? So, I say all that to say, perspective is key. Even the negative things that we go through, because sometimes we'll look at a negative thing, and I feel like I'm preaching, but I'm
listening.
You all right?
Like, yes.
But it felt like if you
that. Come on, preacher.
That's what I'm like, yes. I need this inspiration every day. Like,
come on.
even in the bad stuff that we go through, I feel that God calls us to be a steward of that, a good steward of that. Because what happens is we'll tell somebody, and we have to be a good steward because we tell the right thing to the wrong people.
You better.
So like,
but I'm listening. Go ahead.
Because people have something will happen to you, right? Some type of negative thing that will happen to you, and you have victory over it, right? So now that's in your testimony, right? But you go to the wrong person, or the person that has the terrible perspective of it. You tell them about it, and you're doing it to help them get past whatever they're going through.
Yeah.
But they turn around and use it against you. Or they turn around and say, hey, did you know that D did such and such and such and such? Did you know she went to such and such and such and such with such and such and such? You know what I'm saying? So like, we have to be good stewards of that. Either we tell the right thing to the wrong person, or we forget about it. We don't say anything to anybody. But the thing is that even those bad things are meant to be shared, because even in the Bible it talks about the overcoming comes by the word of the testimony. So even in your doing, back to your doing, even in your doing, that is a potential opportunity. Don't look at it as a bad thing, because this is a potential opportunity to share with others who are in similar positions as you, that are actually hungry or actually have pure intent to do better. You have the tool to help them do better. So embrace it don't live in it, but embrace it, because it is, you know, an opportunity. It's not just a negative experience, but it's an opportunity. And I believe if many of us look at our life and the thing, and I'm talking to myself too, if many of us look at our life in that way, we would see life a lot better. We would see God a lot better. We would be healthier in our bodies and in our minds. You know what I mean? To not see the negative in things, but see the value in it, and to be able to go forth with even the things that other people would throw away. So you are, you know, I say that you are not necessarily in a bad place. You are not, you know, whatever. But I would say that you gotta live. You gotta live.
I do.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta live. And I guess that's what I'm saying in a nutshell. You gotta live, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. A lot of my things is fear, and I
Yeah.
shouldn't fear anything. But a lot of fear of feeling, bringing back old feelings and things. So I try to not, you know, I'm scared to death of somebody like hurting me again, like my feelings to be hurt or something like that. Like, so that's why I'm more guarded when it comes to certain, like when it comes to relationships and stuff, because I don't ever
Well,
want.
that's something that can't be avoided. If you meet somebody, you might meet somebody and fall in love with them. They still gonna hurt you.
Exactly.
My aunt told me one time, and it was a simple statement, but it was so powerful. We were talking about something, and she said, "You know, we all disappointed somebody." You know what I'm saying? And and it's a simple statement, but it's, when you really think about it, it's true.
Yeah.
We've all disappointed somebody. You know what I'm saying? Even people that we care about, even people that we love, especially people that we care about and people that we love. We've all, you know, had moments where we made the wrong decision or went the wrong way and ended up hurting somebody.
Yes.
But you know, that kind of comes with the territory.
I know.
Joyce Meyer has this quote that she has, "Do it afraid."
Yeah.
And eat the cookie and buy the shoes. Like, take the pressure off of you. Like, you've given yourself these rules, but the Holy Spirit give you the rules.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as Mike was saying, I agree with everything he was saying, but be spirit led.
Yeah.
Who you are to, and that's what he was saying, as far as like when you're talking to other people, you got to be spirit led with telling your truth or not, you know, in what rooms to tell it in and how to present yourself. But if you do it afraid, what can happen?
Mm-hmm.
What can happen? If you drown, you have the tools to know how to swim.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you catch on fire, you know how to stop, drop, and roll. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So because you have the spirit of aggression that God has given you, you can face that. Somebody needs that testimony of you being afraid. Do it afraid. What can happen? Like Mike said, everybody's going to get hurt. You and I have become friends. I may say some things you don't like, and you might say some things to me I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes truth hurts and it heals too. Whoa.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, like, I'm a testimony. I got lost in my purpose. And what I mean by that, I desire a mate. You know, I'm usually, if somebody shows interest in me, I'm really like jump to it. Like, okay, where we going? What we doing? You know, that's my personality. But I've learned how to back up, and I've learned how to slow down and understand my purpose. And as Mike was saying, you know, what things do you need to do? What strings do you need to tie? You know, tie up those laces. Do you need to fix your credit? Would you like, what is that looking like? You know, all the different things that you need to do. and that you can do, and it's just because you're in your life. And people always say, "You so busy, Nikki. When do you breathe?" I do breathe. You just don't see it. But I'm always doing something because it's God led.
Mhm.
I'm booked and busy, and thank God for it. Because I used to be just doing nothing and wasting my time talking to people and telling that story to
That's
people.
true.
You
I
know,
mean, I'm listening
right?
to everything y'all saying. Like that's the truth.
Yeah.
But it's
So
all about who you surround yourself with too.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For people to give you those words of encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
You need to
I,
fill up with faith friends, FAITH, not fake.
mm-hmm,
Because your faith friends gonna tear the roof off and lower you down
mm-hmm,
to get your healing.
right,
Right.
Great friends gonna say, we gonna just pass this house.
right.
You know, so but then you ask God to surround you with a faith friend. Even if you could, because you could probably handle like one or two friends. See, I have millions, but you the type, you need one or two.
Yeah, I just need like one or two.
Yeah.
Not
So
many because I might get overwhelmed.
yeah.
Another.
Yeah. So just even like if you just writing because you like to write. So get to writing. Go to the beach and write. Sit in your car and write. Drive different places on a Friday. I enjoy Friday nights because Mike is on.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that was going to happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so people are like, "Oh, you so busy on Friday night, girl." I'm sitting right in here watching Mike or listening or doing something. You know what I'm saying? Because I love the conversations because it keeps me out of trouble.
So
Right.
wait a minute, hold on. Mike. So you be on Friday nights
Yes.
on YouTube or on Facebook?
Both.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
but it'll save your life, and that's why I had told Mike.
No, yeah,
It will, because either I'm watching a podcast, did my future wifey from the week before or something on Friday, or either I'm watching Mike. So what I'm saying is that these podcasts and all the different things you're doing, like he's living his purpose, is saving lives.
But I actually wanted to
Yeah,
do a
something.
podcast. I still want to do a podcast myself, my own podcast.
You can do it. You can do whatever you put your mind to. But like she said, as long as you're allowed, be led to do so, and
Right.
so that it benefits you in the way that it's supposed to benefit you at the end of the day. Because we can do a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But at this point, you want to do things that count. You know what I'm saying? You want it to count. And not just because whatever, but just like she said, be led to do, what you're,
Have a purpose.
And I believe that you would be a great podcast.
Yeah.
Your show would be fun.
Yeah.
But I think so too.
Because I like the fact that I'm transparent and that that I'm super holy, but I can be ratchet too. Living my holy, because I can look at it two different ways, and I'm not so spiritual that I ain't no earthly good. And people need us like that. And I was at an event tonight for Chair One, and I'm the only one on the peninsula who does Chair One with gospel music. And I 10 toes to the ground. That's what I do. And I told the room, wherever you see me, I'm gonna stand on the gospel. Everybody else standing on business, I'm gonna stand on the gospel when it comes to my exercise routine and things, because it's purposeful. And ain't nothing wrong with people shaking a tail feather. That's their business, as Tabitha Brown would say. But my business is 10 toes to the ground with being solid on God. Jesus, a solid rock I stand, right? So, and that's purposeful for me. So if I was to do a podcast, mine would probably be super holy. But if you do yours has a balance. Like Mike has a balance. You know what I'm saying? Because it's who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't bend and I can't break. Now I can go up in a club and pull 20 people out. You know what I'm saying? But it's just different arenas. Like you might not be able to go up in the club and pull 20 people out because you're gonna be on the floor, boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go in there and pop, and let's get out this door. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it just all depends on who you are. But I say, in order to know your purpose continuously, you got to lay on your face and you got to turn your plate down. That's what I did. Like for my purity, you know what I'm saying, that I walk in, and my freedom that I walk in, that people want to know, how are you so free? How do you flow like that? Where did you get that from? From all the hell I've been through over and over and over and over and over again, and how I got through it. I got on my knees when I did not want to. And sometimes I still don't want to. But if I don't have that one-on-one, I can't continue to be free. It's a scripture that says, whom the Son sets free is free indeed. How do you get that freedom? How do you not care how you flow? I don't care about nobody in the room. I flow freely. But guess what? I do it afraid. That's what I'm telling you. So now, Mike, now you know, when I'm doing stuff, guess what I'm doing? I'm doing it afraid. Because, baby, it's there. God is with me. My flesh is in fear. I got anxiety. But when I Holy Ghost, you know what I'm saying? You get what you feel me, D?
Yes, ma'am.
I get what you're saying.
So do it afraid. What could happen? We don't care about men in their faces. Oh, they don't like me. Oh, okay. Well, she thinks she all that. Oh, well, I do. Because I got godly confidence. Because for so many years, somebody called me a female dog. I was a no-count MFer. I was this and I was that. And I refused to live in that from anybody. Oh, she thinks she all that. And she spin around in a million circles in 1 second. Da-da-da-da-da. I do. Because you don't know the hell I went through to spin myself up out of there. You see what I'm saying? But that's your testimony, D.
Oh, and I do have one.
I know you do.
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
Oh, I have one.
But yeah, I ain't trying to take over, but I'm just saying it's
No,
amazing.
for real, I'm listening.
You just gotta
listening because
you
these
just
are
gotta-
very good, encouraging things to say. Like I never really, have people to sit down and tell me stuff, even though I'm grown. These are things I should know, but
Nope.
have people that's genuinely telling me things out of,
You could be in the church for years and be bound.
Yeah.
You could be in that building and be bound. I've been there and done that. I worked in ministry for so many years and I was locked up in here, but I had gifts that I was really, really good at. And you would have never known. But when I got broken, I went to my knees, and I'm telling you, scripture works. Now, depending on what God you serve, because I tell people, whoever you serve, and it worked for you, it worked for you. But you do have to do the work, because God is not a magician. He ain't down. You got to put the work in. The word works. You got to work the word, because the word was written for us. It's already there. You just got to apply it. But you have to do the hard thing. That's consistency, persistence, and doing it when you don't feel like it.
Absolutely. That's a word right there.
Thank you. I mean,
look, we've been on almost 2 hours, and I'm about to get us up off there because we could probably go another hour.
You gotta sing.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, and I gotta dance.
I just this will be my first Sunday back. I was out for like 5 months.
What,
yeah.
Has it been that long I've been at the church?
Yeah.
And you said since Christmas.
Yeah. Probably since New Year's. Yeah.
You said you haven't been to church?
No, I've been to church. I just didn't sing with my choir, my praise team.
Oh.
So this will be my first time. But
I haven't danced, so tomorrow I gotta do it. And I've been dancing all day, y'all.
You've been dancing all day?
Yes.
So yes.
I love to do it.
Okay, so with that being said, guys, we're gonna sign off. But I appreciate y'all coming on, man. Always a pleasure, man. And y'all always, like I said, y'all always throw me curveballs, and I really dig that. But
So hopefully
thank y'all.
the next time when we do this, everybody will be on board.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. I gotta
Because
get
I
it.
was ready. I was ready yesterday. I'm one of them. I'm like, hey, I'm here.
I hope he's I hope he's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna hit him up. But you guys have an amazing evening, man, and we definitely be in touch because we're gonna definitely do this again very, very soon. So y'all be good.
Y'all have a good rest of the day, night,
Yes.
week, and until we meet again.
I receive it, D.